All right, Patrick. We have a lot of Twin stuff to catch up on here.
Yes.
So you start wherever you want. You want to start with the franchise being ecstatic about, and that's their words through The Athletic, not mine, about Joey Gallo? Or
Yeah.
do you want to start with the Twins actually not finishing runner-up for Carlos
Yes.
Correa, as we
Now
found out?
let's hit the Correa thing. First of all, it looks like the Giants ownership bailed, doesn't it? It looks like the baseball department approved it, right? And they ran it by the ownership, but apparently they didn't run it by the whole ownership. So it sounds like they came up with some excuse to not sign him. Uh, the guy who's now owns 30% of the team and is the main, and his son is like it's kind of like Joe Polad. His son's like Joe Polad. Charles Johnson, number one contributor to Herschel Walker's campaign, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
It's very interesting that a hardcore right winger would be running a team in San Francisco, which is
Interesting dichotomy, yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
so this thing blew up, but yeah. I think Susan Slusser, who's great covering the beat, suggested, or someone out there suggested that it was something from his medicals when he first signed.
What do you
When
mean
he
first?
first signed, it was something.
Like way back in the?
Yeah, when he was a 19-year-old kid or whatever it was, 18-year-old kid that they came up with to get out of the contract, basically, to try to use it as that's just part of the speculation on this
Well,
deal.
Doogie had heard that there were maybe some concerns about his back long term,
Yeah,
but
but Susan wrote that it was not his back, that his back
okay.
was not a problem. But Boris just said, "The hell with you." But here's what's interesting: he would rather go to New York and change positions. What he is like Buxton, half of his more. I mean, not as bad as Buxton, but half of his value is playing shortstop, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's I mean, last year he drove in 64 runs.
yeah.
64 runs. That's it. He's the everybody who watched him here last year says, boy, he's an SOB at shortstop. He's a hell of a shortstop, and he'll get a hit. And he's a good offensive, good hitter, but not. So now he's going to move to third, and those 2 years he could have actually gotten if the Twins offered 285. Okay, he's going for an extra 30 million for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he'd rather go change positions than come here. Now I think part of it with Boris, it's the whole 300 deal, don't you? That it's got to get to 300, right? Because that's I don't know why, but to me, 285 for 10 is better than 315 for 12. But then again, I suppose he figures, well, those last 2 years,
He's not going to get a contract anyways. Yeah,
nobody be
that's the.
paying me 15 and 15. But yeah, it was, yeah. I don't know if the Twins are that naive or if they knew that if they came in under 300, they could never get him. What the deal was. I believe they made him the offer, but, and here's the other. Does anyone resent Correa for saying how much he liked it here? Blah blah blah. What do you want him to say? God, I can't wait to get the hell out of here in August or something. I mean,
Yeah, no, he has to
he's a,
say it. I think
he's a
it's just funny
smooth
that people
talker.
buy into it though. That's the funny thing.
Yes,
It's, oh,
yes.
his wife really does like it here.
Well,
Well,
yeah, his wife liked it here.
unless someone from San Francisco or New York is offering $300 million.
She'd like to be living here right now. She could go out and shovel. That would be. She'd really.
Here's a question for you guys: will Carlos Correa's wife ever step foot in Minnesota ever again?
I don't think she'll take the road trips with them.
Road trips aside, yeah,
unless it's
aside.
the Mets Twins World Series that we're all looking forward to.
We get the Mets this year.
You know what though? This guy is now spending. He's got $800 million worth of contracts. His payroll for this year is what, 350, something like that. He's going to pay $100 million in tax.
Yeah,
it's a $370 million payroll, and with the $111 million luxury tax, it's going to be just under $500 million in payroll.
Let me say right now, they're not going to the World Series. They're not going to the World Series, which they're paying for. Verlander's a much worse contract to me than this guy. We've seen the best of Verlander. You're not going to
2 years, right, Pat?
Yeah, 2 years, $86 million. You're not going to see the same Verlander you saw in Houston, I don't believe, at age 40. And there's some other, Brandon Nimmo you got to give him 160 million or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
What's his name? I mean,
they signed Fossil Dave Robertson.
Yeah,
for
Dave
a chunk
Robertson
of money.
is 15, right? Didn't he get 15 or something? 10 or 15?
So.
Yeah.
Jose
Yeah,
Quintana.
A lot of it is just silliness, really. I mean, there's 25 Dave Robertsons that could cost you $750,000 because they're 23-year-old kids, So a lot of it is just silliness. The only sad thing I see here is that George isn't still alive running the Yankees across town with this guy.
And Hank doesn't care. Hank doesn't give a damn.
This would be the greatest war in the history of sports.
What does the Post do if the Mets bomb, though? Wouldn't that be great? The back page?
Oh, they'll kill him. They'll kill him. Who's managing that club now?
Buck.
Poor Buck.
Buck's wife said, I think you guys signed Correa. He said, I don't think we did. What are you talking about? She goes, yeah, it's right here on my phone.
Well, apparently it happened at 3 a.m., right?
It did.
Yeah, just like he did with us.
Boris got the phone.
Yeah.
Phone. You want him? Yeah. Yes. So, but it is. Yeah, we get to play the Mets next year. We play everybody next year. Are they here or there?
The Mets come here Friday. It's a weekend series too.
Are we going to boo him? Are we going to boo him?
We're going to. Oh hell yes, we're going to treat him like AJ. Right? He lied to us. He didn't love it here. Yeah, he'll get booed.
Juicy Lucy's being thrown at Correa as he steps into the batter's box.
He won't know if he's getting booed because of the garbage cans or because he was here. We won't know.
But part of it, I agree with you, Pat. He's saying, what's he going to say? When someone comes up to him in the clubhouse and asks him a loaded question about whether he wants to say, what's he going to say? Guys, got to be honest. We're just kind of using this as a 1-year stop as leverage. That's kind of how it works.
Listen, Boris asked them if they wanted me for 1 year, and this is it. So shut up.
And now I have to make it seem like I want to be here so that the Twins are one of the bidders so we can get a higher price from a big market team. That's just kind of how it works, guys. But we'll see you out there. All right.
Did he have to say, I'm looking forward to the state fair, though? Didn't he go just a little bit? I can't wait to get my hands on the Juicy Lucy.
Yeah, Juicy Lucy.
Did we need that?
Well, Judd, you were in the clubhouse enough to know that he was one of the few guys that came out and held court after every game. They'd sit in the corner for 10 minutes and answer questions. And you always had sometimes it was pretty good and sometimes it was just doing his duty, but didn't the medium name him good? Was he good guy?
He was the good guy. Yes.
I don't think he'll come back and collect his 5 awards at the Diamond Awards, though, will you? Do you think?
That's a great point. What are we going to do?
The Music Man.
He's got 5, right?
Yeah. Who's going to accept him?
I don't know.
The media?
Yeah, the media, bro. We liked him.
Lavelle on behalf of Carlos
hey.
Correa.
Hey, thanks a lot. Carlos says hi.
Yeah. Well, that's going to... Hey, maybe with that thing they're giving me, I can go 15 minutes instead of 2.
There you go. Yeah, we don't need Carlos anymore.
Yeah, I can. You want me to talk longer since Carlos is filling? I think they'd like a few Carlos jokes from me, don't you think?
I think you should sneak a couple in.
No question about it.
Yes. So, but okay, the Twins did, and the Twins, through different media outlets, have said how much they are ecstatic that Joey Gallo is a Twin. So he did have a little resurgence at the end of the year after he left. New York was a disaster for him. But then he went to the Dodgers and hit a couple home runs. Mostly was still terrible. He winds up hitting 160 last season with 163 strikeouts in 126 games. So
it's
left-handed Miguel Sano in here for a fix, Pat.
I, honest to God, have no idea what this is about. I have no idea what they think they're getting. It's a pretty good outfielder, I guess. Okay. I think, Judd, you were suggesting maybe they think he's their backup center fielder.
Yes.
Because he played some of it. I've never seen him. He has played some center, but he's kind of like an Aaron Judge center fielder, right? You do it desperation wise. He's not really a center fielder, but I don't get it at all. I know that Thad Levine was in Texas way back when he was a kid, but what's that got to do with today having the second most prolific striker outer in baseball history, replacing the first most prolific striker outer in baseball? Why not just keep fat old Miguel? I guess because he can't play multiple positions, but
and he can't stay on the field. Like Gallo, at least largely, will stay on the field.
Do you think they are going to be able to make it? There's some speculation that there's going to be a market for Kepler. That the Yankees need an outfielder, and some other teams need an outfielder. Philly, but Philly, one of the good National League teams needs an outfielder.
He can play a little corner outfield, and
oh god, he's a very good right fielder.
He's not a bad player. He'd be a great on a stacked team. He'd be a great depth outfielder.
Plus, I think that you got to see if he's going to get 18 more hits because there's not a shift.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that 225 might be 250. And then if somebody can get to him and say, they're playing you over here and way over in left center. And if the ball's out on that outside corner, it's okay to hit a ball down that line. Once in a while, hit a ball down that line. But a lot of people think Max's big problem is he just don't like baseball. Well, he's just not, it's just something he does. But
yeah.
If he had his choice, he'd be back in Germany playing soccer. I don't know. That's what some people wonder about, whether he cares or not. So I don't know him. I mean, 3 years ago he was getting MVP votes. So what happened to him, I have no idea. But he's,
you may have actually hit on something with Gallo too. So the value of Max Kepler might go up because of the shift. I mean, I just pulled up a Joey Gallo spray chart. So he has like 70% of his batted balls are on the right side of the second where the second baseman would traditionally be playing.
Higher rate than Kepler, actually. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the highest in baseball. So maybe if he does put the ball in play, I had talked to a couple of my buddies about what happened to Chris Davis and how he got so rotten, and because God, he was damn near the MVP one year. And one of them said he got so psyched out about, his average was low, and then he'd hit a bullet, one hopper to the right side, and there'd be a guy standing out in the outfield and catch it and throw him out at first base. He got so nuts about having hits taken away from him with that guy playing out in right field. And, and three guys on the right side, maybe four. And he just got psychotic and he couldn't do anything anymore because he used to hit home runs to left field back when Camden Yards was a real ballpark instead of whatever this God-forsaken thing they've built now is. But, I don't know. Maybe that'll help Kepler. Maybe it'll help Joey. But Joey, you still can't strike out 40% of the time and expect anyone to have any faith in you. I always said for about 5 years now, if there's runners in scoring position with one out and I'm the opposition, there's nobody in the Twins lineup I want to come up more than Miguel Sano. I want Miguel to be the next hitter, right? Mm-hmm. No matter if you got some catcher hitting 205, I'd rather have Miguel come up than Ben Rortvedt, and I think the same thing is with Joey. There's nobody, if you need the fly ball in the 8th inning of a tie ball game, bring in Joey, baby. I'll strike him out in 2 minutes. So
yeah. No, anyway, I agree.
I just don't get that one. I don't.
Twins are ecstatic. Twins are ecstatic.
Yeah, they're very excited.
Why do they do that?
Media good guy.
Why do they say that crap? I don't know. Derek.
Yeah, there's no reason to why oversell something
Yes.
that might underdeliver or is likely to underdeliver.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yes, that's true.
Anyhow,
Vikings Pro Bowlers.
5 Pro Bowlers: Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, Zadarius Smith, T.J. Hawkinson, and the best long snapper in the NFL, Andrew DePaula.
What?
He seems like a character, like a lot of those long snappers. He seems like kind of a character. I don't know if I've never.
His story is a great one. He was like done with football, and then he came back as a long snapper.
But he seems like he has fun with the idea that he's I'm a fantastic long snapper.
So what makes no sense though is we are no longer going to, and I actually like this, play the game, but we are still naming a big list of alternates. For what exactly?
So if you have a sprained ankle and you can't play in the imaginary game, then
are they going to say, you would have played? You're a Pro Bowler.
Thanks for reminding me. I forgot there's no game. I was looking at all the Yes. So that means you like Darrisaw is the second alternate.
What does it matter?
Does that mean you get a bonus or what?
Maybe that might be part of it.
That's what it is.
It's written in your contract, I guess.
But like who chooses them? Because the fan voting had little to do with it because
it's 1/3. It's 1/3 players, 1/3 I think coaches and personnel. And
what are they going to do? Are they going to have like the old? Are they going to have the skills competition or something?
Yeah, and I think they're going to have
Are the Pro Bowlers going to attend, or do we know?
I have not gone that far down the path. I just know that it's going to be like a battle of the network stars with Cosell back in the day, which was fantastic.
You got to give them credit, man. That league, if they don't want to give you anything that people are going to not watch, right? And the Pro Bowl,
people watched the Pro Bowl and they still killed it, which was
got an 8, right? But
you think baseball wouldn't take an 8?
For the AllStar game, that's
for anything they do.
For anything, yeah. The World Series dipped down to like an 8. I feel like at one point.
At a couple of games were that low. Yeah, that's true. There's no doubt about it. But I wonder if it's you got the New York market pumped up, right, for baseball, and you got the LA market. That's 2 pretty good big towns. So it's amazing that their numbers can be that low. It's just the rest of the country that doesn't give a damn, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and locally they still do. Like the local networks generally still do well with TV coverage.
Yeah, it's a region. I've been saying this for years. It's a region. Every sport is regional except football, except the NFL. Every sport's regional, and the baseball is just as regional as hockey now. It's just regional. And NBA is more of a national sport than baseball now.
Like that Rams-Packers game the other night on Monday night. No reason at all whatsoever to watch that game. And I probably watched like 2.5 quarters of that game just because the NFL is compelling.
Yes. Yeah. They have, the NBA has their 5 Christmas games, right? That's their big day. And now, because it's Sunday, the NFL's got 3 games. And they all stink. All 3 of them stink. And they will kick the NBA's ass with their traditional games. They're all bad. One's Green Bay.
Ain't it great, though?
Huh?
I said, but it's great because now I can actually watch things. It used to be like Christmas Day was sort of quiet. I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. There's
Christmas Eve now, tons of games.
Well, and, the NBA, like everybody screwed it up, right? Hey, Christmas, we got a game for you. It's going to be the Lakers and the Celtics, Okay, that did okay. Let's play 5 of them, and it's like the outdoor
starting
hockey,
at 6 o'clock in the morning,
like the outdoor hockey game.
Wake up!
The New Year's Day outdoor hockey game. It worked. So let's try 5 of them all over the world.
You're right.
Wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Watch the Winnipeg Jets take on the Blackhawks.
An outdoor game from the beaches of Hawaii.
Okay, I watched quite a bit of our Wolves last night. What happened?
We couldn't make a shot last night.
Yeah, but how come D'Lo is handling the ball all the time now and not Edwards? The great thing was Edwards had the ball, and when he didn't have the ball, Rivers had the ball. And Russell was running to open spots and just getting the ball and shooting. Now every minute I watched last night, he's doing the old D'Lo dribble around, getting nothing happening. stupid and he doesn't make a shot. What do they do? Why did they change? Because
I wonder if he felt like his shot's been kind of off the mark lately. I wonder if he feels like, all right, I can't make a three. I'm going to start probing again.
The coach to tell him who's, the whole thing was, hey, Edwards is handling the ball. Edwards is running the operation. Yeah. Edwards sees how great it is that he sees people. He's getting triple doubles, and now all of a sudden it's back to old D'Lo throwing up rocks. Playing terrible.
Did you hear Jim Pete's point, though, about Gobert being back in Ant? I thought that was pretty intriguing. He said part of the reason why Ant was so pleased with Cat and Gobert out was because he could drive the lane and basically go into the paint when he wanted. With Gobert there, it clogs things up.
No, so I'm sure that's true.
Basically, his point was Ant was much happier without both the bigs.
Well, yeah, I think Nas only played 12 minutes last night, right? Nas was our guy. Nas was great on Monday night, and
you're right.
So not only do they have to trade Cat, they got to trade Gobert too, right?
Hey, Utah, how about this deal? We'll take half our picks back.
If we give them both to you, can we get half our picks back?
Get a couple first and Vando back, maybe. It'd be great. You can keep Malik. That's fine.
If you could keep them all except Vando, I'll take Vando back. Everybody wants Beverly back. Give me a break.
I want Beverly back in a suit on the bench. I think it would be. I want him in the Udonis Haslem DNP make $1 million a year for DNPs every night for 5 years.
Start right.
Holding guys in check.
Good quotes, that's for sure. But he's shooting about 25%. You see that?
It's rough.
Make a shot to save his life. That's all right.
Yep. So, all right, Pat, we got to run.
All right,
we'll catch you tomorrow.
Might not want to take that walk around the block here tonight, you Minnesota boys. 40 down below. That's not good.
No,
that's not. I'm gonna have to wear a coat today if I go outside. That's for damn sure.
Wow.
Yeah. When Pat wears a coat, you know it's cold. Yep. All right. Wrapping with Reusse here. You can find all of these Reusse conversations on the Mackey and Judd podcast feed and also on the Reusse Unchained podcast feed. See you guys.